Angry, 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 angry Aussie.
Now, I know I've been hitting the animal sex a bit hard lately, but that sounds really wrong. Now, I know I've been doing a lot of stories about animal sex lately, but that isn't me. That's simply the way news and events have been lately. Take this week in Australia, Melbourne at least, one of the big stories was some footballers did what they thought was a funny video that involved a rubber chicken and a chicken carcass, and lots of obvious analogies about, haha, wouldn't it be funny to get a woman drunk, fuck her in the toilet, and then beat her up and run her over in a truck? Who hasn't thought that's funny? Now, this was apparently made internally, some sort of joke to share amongst the lads, which they all thought was well and good, but some people apparently haven't learned there are no secrets. You make a video like this, it's going to make its way onto the internet. And of course it did. It caused a bit of a stir. So why the fuss? Wasn't it just an innocent joke with lads? Well, for individuals, I would agree. But when you're a professional footballer and you film it in your club and show your club's sponsor's logo, it can have a bit of blowback. You need a kick in the bollocks to wake you up. One thing I will say is I think the club handled it really well. Not only did the two players responsible for making it front up and say, it was us, we're idiots, the entire team fronted a press conference and said, well, we all knew about it and none of us said anything negative about it, so we're all responsible. To me, that is class. Those guys can hold their heads up because they admitted, you know, we did something, we were dicks, we're sorry. They didn't run away from it, they didn't try to justify it, they just said, we're dicks, let's move on. But I want to get to the one bit about this that actually makes me angry. It seems the video was put up on the internet by a non-playing club member, and that person is not being identified. At the moment, I'd suggest they're actually unidentifiable because the players who've had to wear the shit for it have kicked the living fuck out of this person, and that's what they deserve. But apparently what they're getting is counselling. Can I just say, every time someone does something stupid, acts like a total dick, and the people who employ them say they're getting counselling, that shits me. You know, counselling's not magic fairy dust you sprinkle over morons and suddenly they're perfect. You know when counselling works? When the person wants to change. When you've got someone who's a moron, and let's stick with football, Australians will know this, a guy called Sam Newman who fronts a program called The Footy Show, who's an obnoxious, mentally incompetent, sexist dork. But that's what the viewers want. But every now and then he pushes it a bit far and the network goes, oh God, that's going to make us look bad. Sponsors will pull out. Let's send him to counselling. He's a 60-year-old misogynist. He's not fucking changing. Don't counsel him. Tell him the rules. Say, look, if you want your job, you can do that. You can't do that. Don't talk bullshit about counselling. Hell, I'd actually defend him before I'd defend his moron employers at the TV station who go, oh, it's all okay now. He said, counselling. Nah, he is what he is, okay? And a lot of people watch him for that reason. So you guys either say, oh, look, we're just letting him be a wanker, or sack him. Don't give him counselling. Counselling doesn't work like that. He doesn't want to change. Either let him be a dick or sack him. Don't go on about counselling. So in closing, let me just say, I hope we've all learned something from this. Namely, non-consensual chicken sex is bad. Got it? That's the news, and that's the truth.